of the landing page you have to do. So last week we were able to do just the nav bar. We were able to write the nav bar and just style it, editor. So we are going to continue from there today, from the nav bar, and move on to the other sections. So let's look at our outcome of last week. What we had last week. So mhm. So this was what we had. We were able to write our logo, the brand bay, and our links, the home, all courses about, and we were able to spread the two apart. That we were able to style it and give it some spacing to look this way. So today we are going to add colors to it, and we are going to learn how to add pictures to our design, our web page. So please follow along and code as you go. Okay. Wisdom, any question?
Please, what I had here before I went offline was I have my brand B and then the home and then all courses under it. But it wasn't like how we just what you just showed.
Oh, you didn't style it.
Yes, that was where I was before I ended.
Okay. Okay, you know what I'll do right now?
No.
I'm going to open my VS Code and I'm going to go to the CSS styling. I'll show the code. So what you have to do is just you look at the CSS code and you see, but I would have loved to see where you stop so that I'll know exactly where to help you from. I don't know if you'll be able to snap your screen. And let me
Yes, so where I stopped was the in the div. So after we have the navbar section, then we have the brand B, that's the H2,
yeah.
the H2 brand B. And then
Okay,
in the
that's the
div,
div you stop. You didn't you didn't create another div for the anchor tags.
no. So
So
the
you
divs
have
I
just
have,
the brand B.
no, the divs I have the home and then the all courses, contact, about, and then contact teacher.
Oh yeah, you have the two.
Yes, I have all of this. But when I run it, it comes under the
You have
brand B.
the two divs. The one for the anchor tags and the logo. Oh, I didn't get you. I think my network. But what did you say?
What I was saying is that when I run it, it comes under the brand B.
Mm.
So when the brand B comes, then the next line, then we have
Yeah,
all the
yeah,
home and then other things. But it's not like what you are just
yeah,
showing now.
yeah. I understand. I understand. So you didn't style it. So I'm going to
Yes.
open my styling, my CSS styling, and you're going to see what you can do. You don't have all these codes, right?
Yes, I don't have all this. Okay.
So what we did here was we styled it We styled what we wrote. So our logo, the H2 logo, we gave it a color black, font width bold, and gave it font family Arial. Then for the anchor tags, the A, I think you didn't do this part. That is why yours is still
Yeah, I
coming
didn't do
under.
all of this.
Okay, so you can just maybe you can quickly go through the codes and
Okay, I took a screenshot,
that we
so I'll go through them.
continue from there. Yeah. What we did basically was just arrange it. That is CSS. We were styling what we arranged, what we coded already. So we were styling it. So what we did for the two of them to separate, for the brand bay, the logo to stay one side and the anchor tags to stay one side was display flex. That's under the nav bar. We created a div that contains the two of them, the logo and the anchor tags. The logo has a different div on its own. The anchor tag has a different div on its own. But then we created a mother div that contains these two div, the logo div and the anchor tag div. So after we did that, we now gave the mother div the name navbar. That it controls everything in a tab bar, the logo and the anchor tags. The anchor tags is the home, the about, and everything. So what we did was we start the navbar display. That's how we want it to display. Flex. Flex means it should display on a straight line. So instead of the anchor
Okay.
tags being under, being below, it has to be on the same line with the brand bay on a straight line. So after that, we justify content. That was to give us space. So we justify content. We use space around. And that is where the spacing came in. The brand bay shifted to the left. The anchor tags shifted to the right. So we have justified the content now by giving it space. Then we gave it a padding top, 20 px. What this does, Abi, what this did was the padding top gave it space at, you know, after you displayed flakes, you see that it discover that it is the text is just at the age, just at the age of your computer. So there is no space there and it doesn't look nice. So the padding top is to give it space. It shifts it down so that there's a space at the top of your computer. So that's what we did. That's what are you there now?
Yes.
Okay. Joseph and Elon, please, are you coding along with us? Okay. So, Wisdom, can we continue? So, without wasting time, I'll just, go on with the class. I'll go on from where we stopped last time. As I'm presenting my screen, I may not see you if you're raising up your hand. So if you have any question, you just ask. and don't bother raising your hands up. So we go on. I said using comments is good because it helps you know what you are doing. Comments helps you so that when you come back to the codes, you can be, oh, this one is for these, and you don't get confused. So that's what comment does. So I'll I'll give this main section because we are done with the nav bar. So we are now moving into the main section after the nav bar. So I'll comment and give it main. Hello. Oh, sorry. My phone locked me out. So I'm back now. I'm back right now. Let's continue. Please hope you guys are following,
Yes, we are. Okay.
Hmm. Mhm. Okay. So let's go on. Here in the main section, I'll give it another div. I'll give it another div, and this div will contain everything that is there in the main section. And I'll give it a class. This class makes it easy when I want to style it. I'll just call the name of the class and the CSS. So I'll give it a class. I'll still give my class name main section. In writing class names, we don't give space. Instead, we use the underscore, or we can use the dash, or you can just join the words, but you don't write spacing. If you space it, your CSS may not understand what you are writing. So we continue. Here, if you look at the picture I dropped on the group, you'll see what we are doing. So we have a main heading, learn from professional mentors. Learn from professional mentors. That's the first thing we have there. And from what Johnson taught us last week, our headings, we have from H1 to H6. And we determine them by their sizes. H1 is the largest, H6 is the smallest. So if we look at this learn from professional mentors, we are seeing that the texts that are big. So what we can use here is H1. It is, yeah, it is a heading and the text it's big. So we are going to use H1 for our learn from professional mentors. So under my div, the new div I created, so H1, then I write the text in the H1. Learn from professional mentors. Then Please, I'll advise you look at the picture I dropped on the group so that you know what we are doing and you follow and you know what we are building. It will be easier for you. The second text under the H1 is small, tiny text. It's not that bold. Yes, it's not that bold. And it's tiny. So what we are going to use here, this is not a heading. As you can see, we already have our heading H1. So what we are going to use is P. P is for paragraph. P means paragraph. So we use P in designing, we use P in coding when we see that the text is smaller or is under a heading, that's when we use P. So it's not everywhere we use H1. P means paragraph. So when you're coding and you want to give a heading, it is you use H, either of the H tags according to how big your size is. Then you want your text under your heading, you are going to use P. So P, and the text is all master certified and hired by us for the student to grow up easily and faster. So you just type it inside your P. And please take notes. Since we want to replicate that design, take note where they're using capitals, we have to use capitals. Where they're using small, we have to use small. We have to use capitals so that we can replicate the design and make it look rich. What I did doesn't change anything by bringing it to the next line. I don't just want my code to be on one long straight line so that if I'm reading it, I'll have to scroll to the sidebar to see what I'm doing. So that's why I just brought it to the second line. It doesn't change anything. Please, are we following?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Are we coding along? Please, I'll advise we go through the picture I dropped on the group. Are we looking at the picture so that we know what we are doing? You'll not just be watching me, you know exactly what we want to achieve. Okay, so next thing we look at the picture. The next thing we have is view lessons, and it is in a rounded what do we call it? So what I'm going to do here, if you click on these view lessons, it will take you to, this is like, should I say a link or whatever? But I'll call it a button. This is a button because if you click on it, it will take you to another section. To click, it take you to another place where you can view your lessons. So what we are going to use next after this P is button, because that is a button. It is what you can click on to lead you to another, open up another link for you. So inside our button, we write in the text, view lessons, view lessons. So let's see so far what we have done, how it will appear on our screen. Oh, I'll have to stop sharing now. Stop sharing and start over again. So yes, this is the outcome. This is what we have right now. This is our H1, learn from professional mentors. This is our P, all are master certified, and this is our button, view lessons. So what we are going to do right now is to style it because it doesn't look nice this way. So we have to style it and we have to arrange it according to how it's shown, according to what we want to achieve. So we have to style it using our CSS. So yeah, just in case you're not looking at the picture I dropped or you didn't see it, so this is what we want to achieve. This is it. Learn from professional mentors. All are master certified and hired for the student to go and view lessons. So we are going to style it to give it this. After that, we'll add our background picture and then we'll move over to these other sections. So let's get going. We are going to our CSS right now. So before we go to your CSS, we look here. This is the div class main section. So we are going to use this name here, main section, to style everything inside this main section. That is what we are going to use to give it the styling. So I'll copy the main section. Either I'll go to my CSS to write it, type it, but I prefer to copy it. So yeah, just copy it and come. The dots and Control V. The dots is because main section is not part of HTML elements. So I cannot just write it like that without the dots. CSS will not understand what it means. So I have to bring the dots in front of it and I write main section. CSS will understand. So what I'm going to use here is, let's try this, if it will work. Ooh, my screen stopped sharing. So this is the space I gave it. I gave it a margin top space of 120 px. So it shifted. If you notice, it was up here, somewhere up here. So it has shifted downwards because what I said was I wanted there to be a space up here. So it has shifted downwards. And we have our space up. I don't like it that I have to share this and share this and aim to share this. It's a lot of work.
Yeah, you can just share your window. Then you don't need to. You don't need
I
to
have
like.
I have like two windows.
Yes, you can share the whole screen, not the windows. This whole screen rather. You
Yeah.
have the option
The
to
whole
share it.
screen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the entire screen.
Alright, so let me try.
So stop sharing it.
Try.
Share it. Then you see the option.
What do you say?
Yeah. So when you want to share, they'll show you the option. So you choose entire screen, something like that.
Okay. Whoa. Whoa, this is a lot.
Yeah, but you can just focus on the one you're
This
working on.
is
That's
a
fine.
lot.
I think now it's working. Yeah,
What do you say?
just
What do you say?
yeah. I think it's okay now.
No, it's not.
No, just change it. Leave the Google Meet back to where you're working. Going to be fine.
Okay. Ouch. Okay. Yeah. I think I've gotten it now. Okay, so we were still styling our main section. We have succeeded in bringing it down from the top. So what we are going to do now is to shift it to the center because it's at the side. So we have to take it to the center. So what you do is text align. Text align center. So that's what we are going to do. So after that, you go on to the next one. But then I think we have to give our background, we have to give it a picture because this has a picture, so we have to give it a picture. So this is what we are having right now currently. This is what it looks like right now. We have shifted it and from the side and it is now at the center. So the next thing is we shift the paragraph so that there will be space after the H1. There will be space. So we'll give it a space here and we'll give a space to our paragraph before our buttons. Then we'll give it a background picture. So let's go and so this was main section. So main section had one paragraph. So what I'm going to do again, the main section I copied, the paragraph P, the main section P, the main section paragraph here, this P here. So this is what we are going to style it now because we want the space to be on top of it. So we are going to give it padding top 2. So this padding top also will shift the P away from the H1. It will give it the space between the P and the H1. I can choose to use the main section P to give padding top. I can use the H1, the main section H1, and give it a padding bottom. The two of them will do the same thing. Either I use the H1, main section H1, and I give it a padding bottom. I use the main section P and I give it a padding top. It will still give us the space at the same place. So I'll give it a padding top. Okay, let's see. It's a 20px. Let's see how 20px will look first. And I'll give it a font size because it looked like that font was big. Let's say 14px. Okay, let's see how it will look like. Okay, so this space here, I think the space is okay. So yeah, I think the space is good. I think the space is good. And the font too, that's reduced more than it was before. It was bigger, so that's reduced the size. So we are also going to give a space between this one and this one, between the P and the bottom. We are going to give a space. There's a space here, so we are going to give a space between those two elements. So let's move on. I've noticed a mistake. My faster, I didn't add A. Okay. So we are still in main section. So dot control V. Main section this time around is the bottom. The bottom. I mean the bottom. Main section bottom. That's what we are going to style right now. So I'm gonna give it 7px. Let's use this CL to look like. Okay, so before it was smaller, but now we've seen the space now. There's a space here, and we've been able to give this space. I use padding 7px, 18px. What that means is we have padding top, padding left, padding bottom, and padding right. So we have all this padding top first, padding left second, padding bottom, and padding right. So what I did was I gave it padding of 7px and 18. Was it 18? Was it 18? Yes, 7px and 18px. So what this does is the 7px I gave now is for the top and the bottom. That means the top should be 7px, the bottom too should be 7px. That should space it. Then the 18px is for the left and the right. So instead of writing padding top 7px, padding left 18px, padding bottom 7px, padding right 18px. So I just gave it at once padding 7px, 18px. So the 7px, the first one comes is for the top and the bottom. The 18px is for the left and the right. Is are we following? So we move on. We move on.
Yeah.
So this is how our button is. We see it's rounded, but what we have is not rounded yet. So we are going to make it rounded, make it a rounded button, and maybe is this space okay? Okay, so what we're going to do is I think we'll add more space, maybe make it 20 for the left and the right. Because there's space here. Then we'll make it rounded. So let's keep going. I'll change here to 20 to give it more space by the sides. What is making it rounded? It's called the border radius. Already we know from circle, radius is, rounded and all the stuff. So it's the border radius that gives the side, makes it rounded, looks like something like circle. So it's a border radius. It's not all that is circle, so we are not going to give it a pico border radius, just for the borders, to make the borders rounded. So let's say we use something like, okay, let's use 15px and see what it will look like. Okay, yes, so it's rounded. The 15 worked. It's rounded now. So let's continue. Okay, before we continue, let's look at it very well. We are seeing all these things. We don't want it to show, the border, because from our picture, you don't have any border. It's just the white background. So there's no border in our picture. There's no border, just the white background. So we are going to take out that border. Yes, we are going to take out this border. Then give it the color. From the color in our picture, we give it the color. Okay. But I think before we give it the color, we have to give the background color first so that the color will show. We have to give the image a background. So we go on. Yes, so what we're going to do is we take out the border, right? Border, then none, because we don't want any border to show. So that is it. And if we look at our outcome, the border is not there anymore. That's borderline. We are not seeing it anymore. So the borderline is gone right now. It's gone. We are not seeing it. So we are moving. So Wisdom, are you still following? Are you here with us? Joseph,
Yeah.
are you here with us? Are you following?
Yes, I'm following.
Am I alone? Okay,
No, don't worry. You're not
okay.
alone. We are
Are you
here.
coding along? Am I too fast?
I was, but because I didn't style my own for the beginning, so I am not doing the styling for this side now. But I'm following.
Okay. If I'm too fast, you draw my attention. If you're not understanding, you draw my
Okay.
attention.
Okay.
All right. So let's move on. So yes, what we are going to do next is to add an image to our background. So yeah. So if we look here, we have an images folder right here. We have images folder right here. So what we are going to do is we are going to import images from our desktop or from anywhere we have images. The image we are going to use, we are going to import it into our images folder. So let's see how we can do that. I already saved my image on my desktop already. So on my laptop document. So let me check. I have few images here. Woman on computer. So let's say I'm using this one. So I'm using this one. So I'll take it to okay. So, I've copied the image to my desktop right now. So I'm going to go to my desktop and so yeah. I've gone to my desktop right now. What am I gonna do here?
Okay. Guys, while she's doing that, you can also remember to put your email and your name in
What
the
do you
chat
say?
section. I'm reminding them that they should put their emails and their
Their
names.
names. Okay.
So
Yeah,
yeah.
thank you. So yeah, I don't know how to. My desktop is not coming on. I don't know. So yes, what I'll do is I copied my image already to my desktop. So I'm going to take it to the folder I created for the GDSC. Remember, we created a folder for our GDSC already. So I'm going to take it to that folder, and inside the folder, I'm going to put it inside the images I created. Images folder. I'll put the image inside the images folder that I created.
We're not seeing your screen.
Yes, my desktop is not showing. I can't share it. I don't know why. I'm trying. It's not desktop. Not showing.
If you share your entire screen, we'll still be able to see your desktop. Um,
Yeah, I've shared my entire screen. Still, my desktop is not. But maybe from what I've said, maybe you've gotten it. First of all, you either download the image you want to use, you go online and you search for the appropriate image for your design for your web page. You download it and you keep it in your desktop, or you keep it where you can be able to retrieve it. Then you know that when we created the folder for our web page, when we created the folder for our design, we already created an image folder inside our folder. The name was GDSC AIT, and we created HTML, CSS. We created, yes, index.html, style.css, and images folder. So we are going to put this picture now inside our images folder. So after the image folder, you go back to your VS Code. If you open here, the picture is there. The picture is there. So the thing you now do is to add the picture to your this thing. So to be able to add the picture to our whole this thing, we have to have a div, the main div that is covering all those sections. The div covering the three divs that we have. If you look, we have three different divs here. We have the nav bar, we have the logo. Okay, I think we have four divs. We have the anchor tags and we have the main. So you have to have a div that is covering all these divs so that you'll be able so that because the picture covers everything here. The picture, we look at here, the picture covers everything here. From the brand base, the picture covers way down here. So we have to look for a div that we have to have a div that it covers all of these. All of this is inside the div so that we'll be able to insert our image inside. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy all of these again. And create a div, so I put all of them inside. Copied it, I cut it out, then I created a div that will cover all of them. So I can give this my div the name, and what name can we give it? I can give it the name first section. Okay, so since this is the image we are working with, let's take it that everything here is the first section, and when we go here, this will be the second section. So I'll take it that everything here is the first section. So I'll give my image the name first section. I'll give the first section. I'll take it to my CSS just to be able to style it. So styling our first section, first thing we'll write in it, the first thing we give it is the background image. Just since we want to give the image to it, so background image. Then for background image, before we give any after typing the background image, when we want to give our background image, you have to use a URL. This URL will direct you to where your background image is on your HTML, your VS Code. Yes, where the image is located on the VS Code. So this URL will take you to where the image is located. So background image, then excuse me. So yeah, let's continue. Background image, then dot and backspace. So after the URL, you give dot and backslash. Yeah, backslash. You write dot and backslash. You see the folders you have inside your VS Code at that moment, and the file you're working on, you see it as at that moment in your VS Code. So we have here CSS, we have images, and we have index.html. So our image, the background image we want to use is inside our images folder. So we click on images, and inside images, we have this one picture inside, this woman, this thing. And we click on it, and that is it. We have our background image. Ctrl S, we save it. So let's check and see what we have. So yeah, this is what our website is looking like now. We'll notice that the background image is repeating, dividing into two. This one is cutting here, this one is cutting here. Work on that right now. Go back to our style. Background repeat. So the image will cut the image dividing into two, it will make it stop. We now have one. So it will cover this whole background because we want our image to cover the whole background. So we go back to our test and we do background repeat. We want it to cover our whole background. Yeah, so it is covered now. Background size, I gave it cover. Background size cover, so it has covered the whole screen. It didn't cut again, so it covered the whole screen. So what we want to do is we want to position our image, like we want the woman to really show well. If we look here, the woman is not really showing. It's just something here. So what we are going to do is I'm going to write background position. Then I'll give it center. That will give us the center of the image. Also, you can do background position, top background position, um, what do we call it? You can do top, you can do whatever you want to show on your background position. So mine, I want mine the center to show. Although this is not really the center, but it's better. I wanted center to show, so that's why I gave my background position center. So this is our original image, which some background images. It's somewhere half. So we are going to give our background a size so that it will also, we are going to give it a height so that it will extend beyond where it is right now. Give it a height to bring it down. Like let's use um let's use 500 px and see what it will give us. Okay, cool. So that is our outcome. That is what we've gotten right now. So we've been able to extend our, okay, should I use 400? Yeah, let's use 400. I think the 500 is too much. Let's use 400. Okay. Okay, this is better. So this is what we have gotten. This is where we have gotten now. So looking at what we have to do, we are, if you see this background, it has some green like covering on top. The background is not smooth. It has some blur, some green like blur on top. So we are going to do that right now to our background. Our own is just bright, yes. So we are going to do that right now. So we go back to where we have this background image. We go back here. So we are going to type our linear gradient. Linear gradient is what is giving it that cover like color on the background. So it's giving it that something like that. Yeah. So we are going to use RGBA. RGBA is how do I even explain it? Okay, RGBA is type of it's like a color, it's color scheme. Yeah, let me say something like that. R stands for red, G for green, and B for blue. So it used to like mix colors. Those that do graphics design will understand all these color schemes, RGB and the CMYK, something like that. So we are going to use RGB here because here we are going to mix our colors to get that green like color. So let me use something like we are just, let me test it out. 17 129. What this means is red should be 17, green should be 129. The next one is black. Is it black or blue? I think it's blue. Blue, yes. Blue should be 47. And the last one should be 0. I give it 7. Okay. Let's see if this makes any changes. Huge. Not working. So yeah, we have to do it twice. I hope this works. Okay. So yeah, it's worked. It's worked. So what we just did basically was we mixed the colors. We mixed the colors. RGB. So we mix the colors to give us this green color. So if we just play around, okay, let me say I change this to something like 29. Come here, change it to 29 again. It will give us a different color entirely. Give us a different color entirely. So yeah. Are we together? Are we still following? On the
Yes.
concept of the RGBA, I think you need to read further on it so that you understand it better on your own. All these things you are doing is just, to open your eyes and show you how it looks like. But basically, to learn it, you have to stay on your own and you go over what we have done and review. You cannot just, just come to one day class and before you know it, you're a master. It has to be continuous practicing and working. Before you know it, you're a master at what you do. Yeah. So should we go on? I think my only student here is Wisdom. Wisdom, are you still with us?
Yes, I'm with you.
So should I still go on?
Yes, please, you can go.
Okay. So yeah, you can see it's starting to look similar, small. Although we didn't use the same background image, I didn't see the same background image. So we just, use substitute something like may look like that. And we have seen that our text here is color white, color white, color white, and all these are color white. So we are going to change it to white. And this, we have seen this border around this contact teacher. So we are going to do that right now before we move on to this. So I'm going to go to my CSS and I'll change the color of the text to white. So these are my anchor tags and brand bay. All this should have one class. It should be inside, these two should be inside the div. So I'll just locate the div of these two. I'm just gonna give it the color white and it should change the colors to white. So let me check which div had the two of them. This div. No, this div. Okay. So the navbar div had the logo and the anchor tag. So I'll go to my CSS and look for the navbar. This is the navbar. So color, white. So if we look at our outcome, it didn't change. It's stubborn. Didn't change. So oh, I already gave it color black here. Okay. So I think what we are going style it since it doesn't want to work that way. So we are going to use our individual div to style it. Oh, my battery is getting low. So yeah, we have changed our colors to white. We've succeeded in changing our colors here to white. So we'll do the same here. We'll change this to white since they were all white. Change it to white. For this image, let me do something like 0.6 and see what it will look like. Not 0.7. Hey, what did I do? I think I like it better this way. We can make our anchor tags here. We can make it bold. Make it bold. So we go to where it is. Anchor font weight. Can make it bold. I think it worked. It worked. It's better. So let's give this color white. Give it color white, and we work on our buttons. The button is color like blue, like purple, like something. I think. So let's give this a color white. That is our main section. So we'll go to where we have the main section in the CSS. Yeah, we have our main section here. Now, color. So everything has changed to white color now. So we can say it's beginning to look similar like this. So let's work on our button. We're going to change our button color to, what is it? Go to our CSS. We go to our button, main section button. So here, enter color. Our button color or something like blue, purple. Okay, let's say we give it navy. Now see how it will look like. Check it and see how it will look like. Then font size. We give our font size 12px. Let's see how our button looks like right now. Okay, let's see. Our button looks more defined. Yeah, it looks more defined. Okay, so let's make the text inside our button to be a bit bold. Yeah, this one is looking like font width. Font width, that is to make the text bold. So bold. Oh, 100. Let me give it 500 and see. It's not working. So let's use bold. Want it bold. BOLD. Oh yeah. I think it's working now. It's working. Wisdom, are you still following?
Yes, I'm following.
Should we call it a day? Or we should go on?
Yeah, we can go on. Or unless
Can go
otherwise,
on.
maybe you want the rest to follow up. So
Um, Probably I think you're the only one I'm teaching right now. So what you decide is what we'll do. Okay. Let's just brush up for a while. Let's brush up. Let's continue.
okay.
You don't have any question.
No, I don't have any
You
question for
understand
you.
it. You understand everything.
Yes, I'm following.
You can do everything we have done from start till now.
Yes, I took some screenshots to help me later.
Okay. Okay. So we are going to move to this section now. This 1 to 3 boxes. That's what we are going to do. We are done with this section. So we are going to leave the div of this section, the whole of this section. We are going to leave the div. I'll create another div for these 3 boxes. So let's go on back to our HTML. This is the div for that area. This is the div, and this is the ending div. When you click on the div, you see the closing div. If I click on this is the closing. If I click on this one, this is the closing div. If I click on this one, this is the closing div. So when you click on a div, you see a div closing it. So I'll come here after the closing div. I'll come then. I can use my comment. My comment will help me to know what I'm doing. Control and question mark, that's comment. I can take it to I can write second section. It's always advisable to make your code neat so that anytime, any day you visit your code, it will not look bogus to you. You know that you did this thing and you can understand what you did. So this is my second section. Then I'm going to create another div. What you are doing, whatever you have to do in HTML, CSS, it has to be inside a div, like a division. You cannot just come now and start coding. It has to be inside a div. So I create another div. If we look at our picture here, we have 1, 2, and 3 boxes. So this div, each box will have its own div. So the div I've created now, it's for these 3 boxes. Then I'm going to create 3 different divs inside that div. 1 div for this, 1 div for this, and 1 div for this. So let's go on. I've created my main div, that's for the 3 boxes. So I'm going to create 3 divs again. So I've created my 3 divs. How I got that was I did control. Okay, I wrote the div, then I did shift asterisk 3 because I needed 3 divs. So I did shift asterisk 3 and it gave me 3 divs all at once. Okay, let me give my div a class name. Class second section. So inside the second section div, we have 3 divs because if you look at the picture, we have three. 1, 2, 3. So each div represents this, the other div represents this, and the other one represents this. So if we look at each element in a div, we can see there is something here, actionable training, and there's a text under. And the text, the heading text, you can see it's not that big. It's not a big heading text. It's not, so it's not going to be H1. It's not going to be H2, H3. No. So we can use maybe H3 or H4. So okay, let's say we use H4 because it's not a big text. We can use H4 for it. So we go to our div, the first one. We give it H4. H4. So we have the heading. What else do we have there? We have the text under the heading. So in this text, what are we going to use? Wisdom. Can you tell us what we are going to use to write this text? You use H4 for the heading. So the text under, what should we use?
H6 will do.
Oh no. Okay, so if you were following me, I said it that after the heading, you see, as you're looking here, you see the heading is, it's pronounced, it's bold. So you can, see, this is the heading. After the heading, the text that comes under is not that bold.
Yeah.
It's lighter. So what we are going to use is P. We are going to use P. P stands for paragraph. It means that we have a text under the heading. We have a paragraph under the heading. So you not use H4 and H6. Normally, H is always bold. Anything that has to do with H1 to H6 is always bold. If you just look at this is bold. Look at the other one is bold. Look at this is bold. Look at this is bold. You know you are using H. But this one is lighter. This one, the text is also lighter. The text is also lighter. So we are going to use paragraph because it is not an heading. So we are going to use P. P. So in HTML and CSS, we have what we can use to generate. What am I doing? We have what we use to generate random text. You can generate random text in HTML. We just want to use random text. We don't have huge. Shit. So I think we are going to call it a day right now. My computer just went off.
Okay.
Are you still with me?
Yes, please. I'm still with you.
Okay, so I said my computer went off, so I'm going to call it a day right now. So let me go and charge.
Okay, that's okay.
Okay, but if you want us to continue after charging, we can come back and continue. But if you are okay with that, you are always free to enter my DM if you don't understand anything. So
Yes,
ask for
so
clarification.
I will try my hands on what we just did so that if any other question comes, I'll let you know.
All right. Okay. So thanks for showing up.
Thank you too.
All right. Bye. Have a nice
Bye.
day.
Same.